Hello, friends. Welcome to the People of the Moncton Hospital podcast. Hosted by the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation, the podcast aims to create a space where stories come to life and the people behind the care take center stage. The Moncton Hospital is at the heart of our community, shaped by the people who walk the halls, the compassion in action, and the dedication of thousands whose passion drives meaningful change. Hello, friends. I'm Frances LeBlanc, President and CEO of the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation, and I'll be your host for today's episode. This month, we're shining a spotlight on Ronald McDonald House Maritimes, and more specifically, the Ronald McDonald Family Room, located right here at the Moncton Hospital and right next door to the Friends Foundation. Joining me today is Nadine McNeelands, the Family Room Coordinator for the Moncton Family Room. Since opening in 2011, the Family Room has welcomed thousands of families with babies and children receiving care at the neonatal intensive care unit, obstetrics and newborn care unit, and also the pediatrics department. It offers families a warm, welcoming space to rest, recharge, and find comfort just steps away from their child's bedside. Today, Nadine will share how the Family Room supports family during some of life's most challenging moments, why this service is so important, and how our community can help ensure that support continues for years to come. Welcome, Nadine, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you.
Wonderful. So for listeners that may not be as familiar, can you tell us a little bit about the Ronald McDonald House Maritimes and the work that your organization does?
I would love to. So Ronald McDonald House Maritimes is our house in Halifax, and then our two family room programs. So we have one right inside the IWK. It was the first one actually created in Canada, and that was in 2007. And in 15 years ago, in 2011, we opened our beautiful family room here in the Moncton Hospital. So our program really, it's all about family stays. It's being able to relieve some of the stress that comes when you have a sick or an injured child that's needing care. So our house in Halifax does that by providing a space to stay, meals, peer-to-peer connections and support, and just alleviating some of the stress so that they can really focus on their child, because we know that they heal faster when they've got the support of their family with them. So similar to what our house does, our room here provides that same support. So the Moncton Hospital does seem to be a hub of activity for children in New Brunswick that are receiving care. Lots of babies are born here. So lots of families still requiring a lot of that same support. So our family room here is more of a day use program. So anybody who has a new baby that was just delivered or a high risk pregnancy and they're getting supports and appointments leading up to the birth of that baby. Maybe they have a baby in the neonatal NICU or a child receiving care in pediatrics. So we welcome all of those families into the family room to get a break and take care of themselves as well when they're here. So whether that's to grab a meal or a shower or just some of those necessities that maybe they've forgotten from home, we really aim to just provide some of those things that seem really basic but make a high impact, and giving them a little bit of headspace and reprieve to go back to their child refreshed and make sure that they can provide the best care that they can for their kiddos. Yeah.
What often people are not aware is that the Moncton Hospital is a regional hub for women and children. So we see admissions from across New Brunswick, PI, and Northern Nova Scotia, including as well in our obstetrics and newborn. So we have, I heard, over 1,300 babies born at the Moncton Hospital last year.
Amazing.
A bit of a baby boom. And some of the children, about 200, are admitted in the NICU, needing more prolonged care. And often parents may have to stay even for weeks, if not months, in the area to make sure that they can care for their babies. So the family room is such a great support for them. But we do say that it is the Moncton Hospital's best kept secret. Why do you think that is?
That is a really great way to put it. And I think very much along those same lines. And I hate in the sense that it is a secret because we don't want it to be. But I think there's a few reasons why it might be. One of which being, I think that most people associate Ronald McDonald House with the actual house itself and may just not be familiar that we do have programs like the family room available. So I think it's just a knowledge gap, and it could also just be that like you don't know about it until you need it or until somebody tells you about it. The other thing I think sometimes is that there might be a misconception that your child does have to be critically ill or injured in order to use the space, and that's not the case here. So there are plenty of times when there is a birth that may not require additional care, or maybe it's just a routine appointment that somebody is coming in for some blood work, or maybe an appointment for diabetes education. It could be numerous things. What I tell people when they come in and I get that comment of, oh, I didn't know this was here, or I didn't know that I could use this, I try and educate people on the fact that like as long as you have a child or are expecting a child, this space is here for you. So just knowing that it is available for them. One of the other things I think that happens is that when we're caring for our children or a loved one, we often forget to take care of ourselves too, or the importance of that. So I think that even though sometimes people know that we're here, it's a matter of even just taking the few steps to the family room might feel like a little bit too much. So it's that extra encouragement from the support staff to let them know it's okay and it's actually good to come over and to take care of yourself. The people that come in to use the room, it can be as quick as grabbing a cup of coffee, or you may enjoy the living room and spend a few hours in the space. So there's no rules around how long you are in the space or how you use the space. You can come in and out as often as you need to, and there's no expectation that you need to stay or enjoy the services within the room. Because oftentimes folks will come and bring things back to those that maybe can't come to the space. So multiple reasons I think why people might be slow to find us. But what I do find is once they do, it becomes a really important and almost like positive part of their hospital experience.
Yeah, and we were just talking about someone that we know that frequents the room every time they're in the hospital, but because they love it so much that they stop by, grab a coffee, and it really does become such an enhancement to their experience. What are maybe some of other misconceptions that you've heard about the room or even your organization that you'd like to clear up?
I think sometimes there's a misconception that maybe there's a fee associated with coming in to use the space. And that's not the case. We are so lucky to have so many generous supporters in the community and donors that make it possible for us to offer these services free of charge. And I think that's one of the supports that we're able to provide, because often when you've got a child in the hospital, whether it's for a few days or a few months, it takes a toll, whether that be time off work or like just the finances of transportation or the finances of food. Those are all things that we're trying to help alleviate. So there's no like cost associated with coming into the family room.
So for families walking through your doors, what can they expect?
Yes. So walking through the doors, I think that they can expect to just find like they're walking into a home. So it is very in stark contrast to the hospital environment that can feel a little bit medical in a sense. So when they walk into the space, what I'm hoping they feel is like a sense of relief and a sense of like a home away from home. So when they come in, they're greeted by a friendly face, and they are shown what amenities are available to them. And I hope that they sort of find comfort in some of those resources that we have there, whether it be the kitchen where we welcome them to cook for themselves as well, or help themselves to whatever food or snacks we have. Hot coffee and drinks, or even a shower can make anybody feel like a new person, whether they've forgotten things like shampoos or toothbrushes, little necessities that can make all the difference, that they'll know that they can find that there. And in general, just a place to connect. That's my favorite part about it, is when you get multiple people in the room at the same time who might be just in similar parts of their journey, and they can make that real organic connection with the family and talk about their journey and their process and their experiences together and find some peer support there.
Right. So valuable, that creation of community and support that organically happens. There's also some play spaces for siblings or children to walk in the space, and it's always super enjoyable to see the kiddies play with each other, even across families.
Yes, exactly. A very important point. So our play space was recently actually refreshed with a generous donation from some volunteers that are really connected to the room as well. And it does make it very welcoming for siblings or for those patients that are able to leave the room and take a break from their hospital bed for a while. So that is a really nice part. And we do enjoy having the little ones. So we tend to see a lot of the adults in the care, like the older caregiver support, but when we get the kiddos in there, it's really special to see them. And even more so when they have a hard time leaving, because it's almost like they see it as like a comfortable extension of their home. So that's always really nice. We had a child in there today who the grandparent was chatting about how they'll be driving randomly and he'll ask specifically to go to Ronald McDonald House, and he's asking to come to the space. So the fact that that happens is really special. We've had feedback before to a child that's spent some time in the pediatric unit, and the room was having a hard time getting out of their space, and the family room was the motivator to get out. So the fact that it can be a positive experience for children in the hospital and the positive association with the hospital is amazing.
Yeah, some extra incentive or motivator for them.
Yes, yeah. So they, even if they just are coming for a monthly treatment and it's like, you know what, we go for this treatment, but then we go up to the family room and we grab a cookie and we spend a few minutes playing with the toys. So
yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
For those who may not be aware, it is really adjacent to the lobby on the second floor to the right. So it does look like a home on the exterior. So we would invite people to have a look and maybe drop by just to have a sense of if they're walking through and would be curious to volunteer or get involved.
100%. We would welcome folks anytime to come and take a look at the space. We just celebrated our 15-year anniversary, and then we invited folks from even the hospital to come in and take a look so that they know what's available here for their patients too. So yes, our door is open and we welcome folks who are curious to come in and see the space, to come and have a look.
Yeah. And delicious breakfast that was part of the anniversary. So I know it was appreciated by the staff across the hospital to be able to enjoy that. How many families use the family room every year?
That's a really great question. So last year we had 600 unique families that visited the family room. So that was about 5,000 visits by 600 unique families, which is amazing. Provided over 2,500 meals through the year, which is great. So we love to see new families. We have a lot of returning families, but I think it really speaks to like the impact that the room has, that we are serving so many families. And I know that we could be serving even more if we weren't such like a hidden secret sometimes. So yes.
Soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it does also indicate the need for the space, that people need those types of supports and those spaces to find comfort and care.
Yeah.
Our team recently participated in your Home for Dinner program. Can you tell us a little bit about this initiative?
Yes. So Home for Dinner is one of my favorite programs. So food, I think, is just it's an easy way to break the ice. It's an easy way to provide support and a feeling of home. And our Home for Dinner is such a great way for community to come in and make an impact for people. So Home for Dinner, we welcome groups from, it can be community organizations, it can be businesses, it can be families that have used the room in the past. It could also be volunteers that are volunteering in the room. So we welcome those groups to come into the family room. They plan a dinner and they bring all of the supplies, and you basically take over the kitchen in the family room and you cook a meal for the families that are there that day. Great team building activity and just a great way to connect and really have an impact. It's great when families come in, like you see a lot of the gratitude and appreciation from folks. So wonderful program that really meets a really critical need. It's food's expensive, but it the energy and the comfort that it gives people to be able to go back and take care of their loved ones is amazing. So the program's exceptional.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great team building. To your point,
Yeah.
talent is not mandatory.
Nope.
As long as one person can cook, you're probably covered.
Yes.
If local businesses, organizations, or community groups, or even families want to learn more, how would they get in touch with you around the Home for Dinner program?
Yes, so our website, so Ronald McDonald House Maritimes.ca, there is a button there. It says Get Involved, and you can find our Home for Dinner program there. There is more information about the program, and our booking system is online too, so you can even see what dates are available and select it right from there. They are also welcome to just call me at the family room and we can chat about it as well. But Mondays to Thursdays, generally, we're welcoming folks in the afternoons, and anybody is welcome. Like you said, skills not mandatory. It can be, doesn't need to be anything elaborate, and yeah, great impact. So I'd encourage anybody to either reach out via our website or to call me directly. I would love that.
Perfect. Beside the Home for Dinner program, how else could people get involved?
Great question. So I am only one person. So I am there through the week, but I could not do the work that I do, or the room could not be open without the amazing volunteers, program volunteers that I have in the room. So if somebody were interested to come in as a program volunteer, I'm ready and waiting for you. So our program volunteers basically act as hosts in the room. So they welcome families into the space. We do a little bit of registration for new families, so they help with that. And then they just really add to the homey feel. So they make sure that there's fresh cookies and bread baked and there's fresh coffee available. They give families a tour and they provide a little bit of connection as well, like in the room. So I couldn't do my work without those fabulous people. Other ways to get connected, there are special events. We do have a walk for kids every year that happens in June, and we are always looking for folks that are interested in joining a committee to make that event successful, or even just to sign up as a team and fundraise for the organization and participate in the walk. Starting up any sort of collection or initiative individually is always welcomed. We just had a great organization that for the this Pride Month, their Proud Committee decided to choose Ronald McDonald House Maritimes as their organization of choice. And through the month, they collected a whole bunch of wish list items that we have. So that's also available online, but it would be things like hygiene products and prepackaged snacks, things that we would offer in the room. So they made a very generous donation of those items that will in turn go right back to the families and help them. So those are different ways to get involved, and we'd welcome anybody for that too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's very creative of them to do. I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Without obviously sharing any personal details, are there stories or experiences that really illustrate the impact of the family room on families that you serve?
Yes. So there's so many family connections and interactions that I can think about for this question. One of the things, it's not a specific family, but it's families who do have an experience in the NICU. So often when there is a family who is going through that experience, it can be an extended period of time, I find. So there are families that are spending 2, sometimes 3 months in the hospital environment. So it's building those connections, and you see them daily in the hospital with their babies, and you get to form like a connection with them and see them connect with other families who are also in the NICU. It's so special. With my time here now, what's exciting is when I get to see the progress. So when they leave, it's sort of bittersweet, because it's like, this is what we wanted. We want you to go home, but it's also sad because it's like, I don't get to see you every day, but that's what we wanted. But when they come back like a year or 2 later, and their baby that was born at like 26 weeks is now this bubbly, thriving toddler that's walking through the room, and the families just come in like beaming, and they share what a part of like the journey our family room was and what a support it was, and to see them thriving like that, that's always really special. So that's what comes to mind particularly for me. Yeah,
that's incredible. And how does it feel from your perspective, like to be able to support families in this way?
Personally, like it's just a gift. Like it doesn't feel like work. So I think personally, I've just hit like a career goal because I leave one home and I come to another home. So it's just this feeling of like mutual gratitude because I feel like people are so grateful for the service in this space, and that kind of like reflects on me, but it's really a gift for me to be able to do that and to be able to be a part of providing that for people.
As we wrap up, anything else you'd like to share with our listeners?
I would just like and encourage everybody to come in and see the space, to not be scared to come in. We are all super friendly, and just to know that there are multiple ways to get involved, and that the effort and what's possible in the room is really like a community and a collaborative effort. So we're so appreciative of the Friends Foundation for everything you've done to support us, but all the groups that come in to cook and all the volunteers that donate hours of their week to make the space as special as it is. I want as many people as possible to benefit from that and know that they're welcome. So
yeah, it really is the community is at the heart of what you do in your space, and we're the teeniest part, but I think there's so much more we could do to really make sure that the needs of our patients and families are met.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm excited for the future.
Sure. Very bright.
Yeah.
Nadine, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing more about the incredible work of the Ronald McDonald House Maritimes and the Moncton Family Room. It's clear that this space provides far more than just a place to take a break. It comforts, it connects, and also adds a sense of normalcy for families during some of the life's most difficult moments. To learn more about the Ronald McDonald House Maritimes, the Moncton Family Room, or ways you can support local families, visit ronaldmcdonaldhousemaritimes.ca. Thank you again for listening to another episode of People of the Moncton Hospital, and we'll see you next time.